Be me, John, a 35-year-old husband who thought I had it all. I was married to the love of my life, Emily, and we had just moved into our dream home. We spent 10 years together, and every day was better than the last. But one fateful night, everything changed. I remember the phone call from the hospital, my heart sinking as they told me about the accident. Emily was gone, and I was left with nothing but tears and questions. I spent the next few weeks in a daze, going through the motions of planning a funeral and comforting our friends and family. But as the days turned into weeks, and the weeks turned into months, I realized I had to do something to keep myself from falling apart. I started taking long walks around the neighborhood, trying to clear my head and figure out what to do next. One day, I stumbled upon a small community garden, and I was intrigued by the people working together to grow their own food. I struck up a conversation with one of the gardeners, an old man named Jack. "You know, I used to garden with my wife all the time," I said, trying to hold back tears. Jack looked at me with kind eyes and said, "I'm sorry to hear that, son. But gardening can be therapeutic. Would you like to join us?" I nodded, and for the first time in months, I felt a glimmer of hope. As I worked in the garden, I started to think about Emily and all the things we used to talk about. We were both passionate about sustainability and living off the grid. And then it hit me, what if I could turn our dream into a reality? I started thinking about all the ways I could use my skills and experience to create a business that would make a difference. I had a background in engineering, and Emily was a talented botanist. What if I could combine our expertise to create a company that specialized in sustainable gardening and renewable energy? I felt a surge of excitement and purpose, and for the first time since Emily's passing, I felt like I had a reason to get out of bed in the morning. As I walked back to my house, I couldn't help but think about what Emily would say if she were here. "You're crazy, John," she'd say with a smile. "But I love it." I smiled to myself, feeling a sense of determination wash over me. Little did I know, this was just the beginning of an incredible journey. And as I walked into my house, I saw a piece of paper on the kitchen table with a note from Emily. It was a quote from one of her favorite books, and it read, "The greatest glory in living lies not in never falling, but in rising every time we fall." I felt a lump form in my throat as I read the quote, but this time, it wasn't just sadness. It was a sense of resolve, a sense of purpose. And I knew that I was ready to rise again, to turn my heartbreak into something beautiful. As I stood in my kitchen, staring at the quote on the piece of paper, I felt a sense of nostalgia wash over me. I remembered the day Emily had given me the book, and how she had underlined that exact quote in her own handwriting. I had always loved the way she saw the world, the way she found beauty in the brokenness. I took a deep breath, feeling the familiar ache in my chest, but this time, it was accompanied by a sense of determination. I knew that I had to make Emily proud, to turn my grief into something that would make her smile. I walked over to the window, looking out at the small backyard that Emily and I had always dreamed of turning into a sustainable garden. We had spent countless hours talking about it, planning it, and dreaming about the day we could make it a reality. I remembered the way she would get excited about the smallest things, like the way a certain plant would bloom, or the sound of the wind chimes we had hung from the trees. I smiled to myself, feeling a sense of peace wash over me. I knew that I had to do this, not just for Emily, but for myself. Just then, my phone rang, breaking the silence. I hesitated for a moment before answering it. It was my friend, Rachel, who had been trying to get me to meet up with her for weeks. "Hey, John, how are you doing?" she asked, her voice filled with concern. I took a deep breath, trying to muster up the energy to talk to her. "I'm doing okay, Rachel. Just trying to figure some things out," I replied, trying to sound more positive than I felt. Rachel had always been a supportive friend, and I knew she would be excited about my new plans. "I've been thinking about starting a sustainable gardening and renewable energy business," I said, feeling a sense of excitement build up inside me. There was a pause on the other end of the line, and for a moment, I wondered if I had said too much. But then Rachel spoke up, her voice filled with enthusiasm. "That's amazing, John. I had no idea you were interested in that. You should totally do it." I couldn't help but laugh at her response. Rachel had always been one to encourage me to take risks, to follow my dreams. "I know it sounds crazy, but I feel like it's something I need to do," I said, feeling a sense of vulnerability. "I need to do something that will make Emily proud, something that will keep her memory alive." There was another pause, and this time, I could sense the emotion in Rachel's voice. "John, Emily would be so proud of you, no matter what you do. But if this is what you feel called to do, then you should go for it. I'll be right here to support you." As I hung up the phone, I felt a sense of gratitude towards Rachel. She had always been a true friend, and I knew I could count on her to be there for me, no matter what. I walked back over to the window, looking out at the backyard again. This time, I saw it in a different light. I saw the potential, the possibilities. I saw a garden filled with sustainable plants, a solar panel system that would power our home, and a wind turbine that would generate electricity. I saw a future that was bright, and full of hope. And I knew that I was ready to take the first step, to start building that future, one small step at a time. As I stood there, gazing out at the backyard, I felt a sense of excitement and purpose that I hadn't felt in a long time. I thought to myself, this is it, this is the start of something new, something that will honor Emily's memory and create a better future for our community. I could almost hear Emily's voice in my head, encouraging me to take the leap, to pursue my passion for sustainability. I took a deep breath, feeling the cool air fill my lungs, and began to imagine the possibilities. I pictured a garden filled with lush green plants, a small pond with a fountain, and a walkway made of recycled materials. I saw children playing in the garden, learning about the importance of sustainability and conservation. I saw a community coming together, sharing knowledge and resources, and working towards a common goal. Just then, my phone buzzed, breaking the spell. It was a text from Rachel. "Hey, just wanted to check in and see how you're doing. You okay?" I smiled, feeling a sense of gratitude towards my friend. I typed out a response, "I'm doing great, thanks for asking. Just standing here, looking out at the backyard, and imagining all the possibilities." I paused, thinking about my next move. I needed to start making plans, to turn my vision into a reality. I thought to myself, first things first, I need to do some research, learn more about sustainable gardening and renewable energy. I walked over to my desk, sat down, and began to type away on my computer. As I scrolled through websites and articles, I came across a local organization that specialized in sustainable gardening and community development. I couldn't believe it, it was as if fate was guiding me towards this opportunity. I picked up the phone and dialed the number, my heart racing with excitement. "Hello, Sustainable Futures," a friendly voice answered. "How can I help you?" "Hi, my name is John, and I'm interested in learning more about your organization and how I can get involved," I replied, trying to sound calm and composed. "Ah, great to hear from you, John," the voice responded. "We're a non-profit organization that focuses on creating sustainable communities through gardening, education, and community outreach. We have a variety of programs and initiatives that you can get involved in, from volunteering in our community garden to participating in our workshops and training programs." I listened intently, my mind racing with ideas and possibilities. "That sounds amazing," I said, when the voice finished speaking. "I'd love to learn more about your community garden program. Can I schedule a meeting with someone to discuss further?" "Absolutely, John," the voice replied. "Let me check our schedule. How about tomorrow at 2 p.m.? I nodded, even though the person on the other end of the line couldn't see me. "That sounds perfect, thank you. I'll see you tomorrow at 2 p.m. As I hung up the phone, I felt a sense of excitement and anticipation. I couldn't wait to meet with the organization and start working towards creating a more sustainable future. I thought to myself, this is just the beginning, a new chapter in my life, one that will be filled with purpose, passion, and possibility. As I walked into the organization's office the next day at 2 p.m., I was greeted by a warm smile from the receptionist. "Hi John, welcome. You must be here to meet with Emily about the community garden program. She's waiting for you in the conference room." She led me to a spacious room with a large wooden table and several chairs, where a woman with a kind face and long, curly brown hair stood up to greet me. "Hi John, I'm Emily. It's great to meet you," she said, extending her hand. I shook it, feeling a sense of enthusiasm emanating from her. "Please, have a seat. Can I get you a cup of coffee or water before we start?" "I'm good, thank you," I replied, taking a seat across from her. Emily sat down, pulling out a notebook and pen. "So, John, tell me a little bit about yourself and what inspired you to reach out to us about the community garden program." I took a deep breath, thinking about how to articulate my thoughts. "Well, Emily, I've always been passionate about sustainability and giving back to the community. Lately, I've been feeling a sense of disconnection from the world around me, and I've been looking for ways to get involved and make a positive impact. When I stumbled upon your organization, I was impressed by the variety of programs you offer, and the community garden program really resonated with me. I love the idea of working together with others to create something beautiful and meaningful." Emily's eyes lit up as I spoke, and she nodded enthusiastically. "I completely understand, John. Our community garden program is one of our most popular initiatives, and it's a great way to bring people together while also promoting sustainability and food security. We have a plot of land just a few blocks from here, where we grow a variety of fruits and vegetables using organic and permaculture principles." As she spoke, I found myself imagining the garden, filled with vibrant colors and lush greenery. I could almost smell the scent of fresh earth and blooming flowers. "That sounds incredible," I said, my inner monologue racing with excitement. "I can see myself getting lost in a project like this, learning and growing alongside others who share my passion." Emily smiled, seeming to sense my enthusiasm. "I think you'd be a great fit for our program, John. We're always looking for dedicated and passionate individuals to join our team. Would you like to take a tour of the garden and meet some of the other volunteers?" I nodded eagerly, feeling a sense of belonging that I hadn't experienced in a long time. "That would be amazing, thank you. I'd love to see the garden and learn more about how I can get involved." As Emily stood up to lead me to the garden, I thought to myself, this is it, the start of something special. I can feel it in my bones, a sense of purpose and belonging that I've been searching for. I'm ready to dig in, literally and figuratively, and see where this journey takes me. As we walked towards the garden, the warm sunlight casting a gentle glow over the scenery, I couldn't help but feel a sense of wonder. The air was filled with the sweet fragrance of blooming flowers and the soft chirping of birds, creating a soothing melody that seemed to harmonize with my very being. I breathed in deeply, feeling the scent of fresh earth and blooming flowers fill my lungs, and my heart swelled with excitement. "Wow, this is incredible," I said, my eyes scanning the vibrant landscape before me. "I've never seen anything like it." The garden was a tapestry of colors, with flowers of every shape and size swaying gently in the breeze. There were raised beds filled with an assortment of vegetables, and a small pond in the distance, its surface reflecting the sun's warm rays like a mirror. "I know, right?" Emily replied, smiling as she led me down a winding path. "We've worked hard to create a space that's not only beautiful, but also sustainable and functional. We use permaculture principles to design and maintain the garden, which means we work with nature to create a balanced ecosystem." As we walked, I noticed a group of people gathered around a large wooden table, busily sorting through a collection of seeds and seedlings. They looked up and smiled as we approached, and Emily introduced me to the group. "Everyone, this is John. He's interested in joining our program and learning more about the garden." One of the volunteers, a tall, lanky man with a kind face and a wild shock of curly hair, stood up and extended a hand. "Hey, John. Welcome to the garden. I'm Max. We're just getting started on our spring planting, so it's a great time to join us." I shook Max's hand, feeling a sense of camaraderie wash over me. "Thanks, Max. It's great to meet you. I'm excited to learn more about the garden and how I can get involved." As I looked around at the group, I couldn't help but think to myself, this is it. This is where I'm meant to be. I can feel the energy of the garden, the sense of community and purpose that permeates every aspect of this place. I'm ready to roll up my sleeves and get my hands dirty, to learn and grow alongside these people who share my passion for nature and sustainability. Emily smiled, as if she could sense my thoughts. "Why don't we start with a tour of the garden, and then we can talk more about how you can get involved," she suggested. I nodded, my inner monologue racing with excitement. "Yes, that sounds perfect. I'd love to see more of the garden and learn about the different projects you have going on." As we set off on the tour, I felt a sense of anticipation building inside me. I knew that this was just the beginning of an incredible journey, one that would take me to new and exciting places, and allow me to grow and learn in ways I never thought possible. The garden, with its vibrant colors and soothing sounds, seemed to be calling to me, beckoning me to come and explore its secrets, and to discover the sense of purpose and belonging that I had been searching for. As we walked through the garden, the scent of blooming flowers and fresh earth filled my lungs, and I felt my senses come alive. Emily led the way, pointing out various plants and explaining their unique properties and uses. "This is our medicinal herb garden," she said, gesturing to a section filled with a variety of plants I didn't recognize. "We grow everything from calendula to echinacea, and use them to make teas, salves, and tinctures." I listened intently, my mind racing with questions. "That's amazing," I said, reaching out to touch a delicate purple flower. "I've always been fascinated by herbalism. Do you offer any classes or workshops on the subject?" Emily smiled. "Actually, we do. Our herbalism expert, Sarah, leads a monthly workshop on medicinal herbs. She's incredibly knowledgeable, and it's a great way to learn about the different plants and how to use them." As we continued the tour, I found myself feeling more and more at home. The garden was even more beautiful than I had imagined, with its winding paths, colorful murals, and vibrant flowers. I couldn't help but think about how much I would love to be a part of this community, to contribute my own skills and energy to the garden and its projects. As we walked, Emily asked me about my background and what had brought me to the garden. I found myself opening up to her, sharing my passion for sustainability and my desire to learn and grow. "I've always felt a deep connection to nature," I said, "and I'm excited about the opportunity to be a part of a community that shares my values." Emily nodded, her eyes sparkling with interest. "I completely understand," she said. "I felt the same way when I first discovered the garden. It's a special place, one that has a way of nourishing both body and soul." As we turned a corner, I caught sight of a group of people working together in a corner of the garden. They were laughing and chatting, their faces flushed with exertion. "What's going on over there?" I asked, curiosity getting the better of me. "Ah, that's our composting team," Emily replied. "They're working on turning food waste into nutrient-rich soil. It's a crucial part of our garden's ecosystem, and a great way to reduce waste and promote sustainability." I watched, fascinated, as the team worked together to shovel and aerate the compost. I could feel the sense of camaraderie and purpose that emanated from them, and I knew that I wanted to be a part of it. "I'd love to get involved with the composting team," I said, turning to Emily. "Is that something I could do?" Emily smiled, her face lighting up with enthusiasm. "Absolutely," she said. "We're always looking for new volunteers to join the team. I'll introduce you to the team leader, and you can start getting involved right away." My heart swelled with excitement as I contemplated the possibilities. I knew that this was just the beginning of an incredible journey, one that would take me to new and exciting places, and allow me to grow and learn in ways I never thought possible.